As told in Daredevil #1, young Matt Murdock promises his father that he'll study hard and stay out of trouble, even though the kids at school make fun of him. His dad doesn't want his son to end up like he did. One day, Matt sees a truck about to hit a blind man, so he leaps into the street, only to be hit himself. The radioactive toxins in the truck fall out and hit Matt in the eyes, giving him amplified senses and a kind of radar sense to compensate for his blindness. He exercises, but doesn't tell his father because of his promise. Meanwhile, his dad, a pro boxer called Battlin' Jack Murdock, signs a deal with a fixer, a crooked manager. When the time comes for him to take a fall, he can't, because he wants to make his son proud. He is killed by the fixer's goons after the fight. Matt, now a law student, wants revenge. He sews some old shirts together to make his costume. He then chases the fixer into a subway, where the fixer has a heart attack and dies. He later has the privilege of turning down the fixer's goons' request for legal defense. Matt quickly falls in love with his secretary, Karen, to whom he reveals his secret identity. Unable to deal with Matt's need to be Daredevil, she leaves for LA to be in the movies. Over 100 issues later, writer Frank Miller takes the reins and changes Daredevil forever. He introduces the character Stick, who, he explains, trained Matt as a child to hone his radar sense and martial arts skills. He also explains that Elektra, Matt's college girlfriend, whose father was killed on accident by police snipers, was not only also trained by Stick, but in addition by The Hand, a group of ninja assassins. Elektra is stabbed by Daredevil's arch-nemesis Bullseye with her own sai. She dies in Matt's arms. In addition to adding the ninja element to the origin, Frank Miller also fleshes out Battlin' Jack Murdock's motivation. Jack wants Matt to be something, and he knows something Matt doesn't. Matt's mother is Sister Maggie, a nun. Part of the origins are left unchanged. Matt saving the blind man, his dad's last fight, and his murder in the back alley. New is the fixer's demands that Jack work as a street thug by night. Also new in this revised origin, Matt's age. He's just a kid with a mask and a baseball bat when he corners the fixer, who still has a heart attack. And rather than having legal victory over the thug who shot his dad, he follows him into a party and upon attacking him, accidentally knocks a young woman out of a window. This mistake leads Stick to decide to stop Matt's training. It isn't until after law school that Matt returns to New York, where he has to save a friend from kidnappers. Even then, it isn't until after that incident that he finally dons the Daredevil costume. Frank Miller's run on Daredevil was a popular one. The run's most unsung ramification? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. As it appears in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, a young man jumps in front of a runaway truck to save a blind man's life. He is hit in the eyes with a loose radioactive canister which, unnoticed by the crowd, bounces into a child's turtle bowl and falls into the sewer. Coincidence so far? Maybe. But when you consider that the turtles were trained not by Stick, but by Splinter, and that they fight not Shredder and the hand, but rather Shredder and the foot, the possibility for coincidence fades. The Ninja Turtles not only parody the origin, but expand on it. They stumble onto TCRI, the company's whose runaway truck hit the young Matt Murdock, and discover that it is a front for stranded aliens from another dimension. Matt Murdock has yet to be informed of this by the Mutant Turtles, but it would make for an interesting crossover. While it might seem that Frank Miller's revision of the origin would have remained unquestioned, Marvel Comics released a Daredevil flashback issue in the late 90s that told the story of Matt's first day in college, to which he is escorted by his father. This reaffirmation of the original timeline, where Battlin' Jack is not killed until Matt is in college, is epitomized in the recent miniseries Daredevil Yellow, which is written in the form of a letter from Matt to his beloved Karen, who was killed by Bullseye with Daredevil's own weapon. She died in Matt's arms. Still unchanged in the origin is Jack's bittersweet victory, the back alley murder, and the fixer's subway heart attack. New is Matt's attempt to see things through in the court, and upon that failure, he sews his costume out of his dad's old boxing robe before he seeks vengeance. And rather than chasing down the goon who murdered his father, he sees him electrocuted by the state. Finally explained is why Matt switched from a yellow costume to a red one after only 6 issues. Red is Karen's favorite color. A question mark still lingers as to future revisions. Due out in 2003 and starring young hunk Ben Affleck as Matt Murdock, and the big black guy from the Green Mile as the Kingpin, Will the Daredevil movie be congruent with any of these variations, or will it add its own layer? Time will tell.